right, welcome to Yoga in the Park. Today's Saturday, September 16th. It's a beautiful day. We've got wonderful visitors from out of state. Welcome Jill and her daughter. And we're just going to spend the next hour together, relaxing, focusing on our breath and how our breath connects to our movement, and just creating a nice blank slate for the rest of the day. So let's go ahead and relax down on our mats, get nice and comfortable. Let your arms be restful at your sides, palms open, face to the sky. And just let your eyes close and begin to focus on breathing deeply in through the nose, feeling that full expansion of your belly, your back, and your rib cage. And exhaling out through the nose, feeling that same area of your body contracting and emptying. And while we continue to breathe deeply in through the nose, out through the nose, let's bring awareness to our face, relaxing our eyes, relaxing our cheeks, relaxing our jaw. Bring awareness and breath into the neck and breathe away any tension we're holding in our neck. And then we can move our breath and our awareness into our arms. And I want you to breathe from your shoulders all the way out through your fingertips. Next, let's bring our breath and awareness into our legs, and we'll breathe from our hips all the way down to our toes. Next, we'll bring our breath into our spine, and I want you to visualize your breath entering the top of your head, starting to move its way down the spine, weaving in between each segment, creating lots of open spaces. And then from there, let's inhale and float both arms towards the sky. And exhale behind us. Reach out through your fingers, press out through your heels, stretch your body as long and straight as you can. And then let everything go soft. We'll inhale the arms back up. And exhale, let them return to your sides. Once there, let your head roll to the right. Come back through neutral and roll left. And then return to that neutral place. Let's pull the left knee in all the way up to the chest. Give it a nice close hug. And while it's there, let's point and flex our foot. And then slowly circle that ankle round and round. Lead with your big toe. And then do a few circles going the other way. And then allow your foot to rest. Now circle the knee gently around. And reverse. And then keep the knee in nice and close. Now let's send that leg out, and we'll switch. Bring the right knee in. Starting with that nice tight hug. And then that flexing point. And then we roll the ankle around. and reverse. And then just let the foot rest. Begin to circle the knee gently around. And then go the other way. And then once again, just hug the knee in nice and close. Now let's bring the other knee in for a good close hug. And add a few gentle rocks from side to side. Feeling that massage on your spine. And then hold the center and we'll circle both knees. Go round and around, massaging into that lower back. And then let's reverse. And then just keep the knees tucked in nice and close. From there, let's rest our feet on the mat with our knees bent. Space your feet apart about hips distance. Keep your toes turned in slightly, heels turned out slightly. Tightening the belly, let's begin to peel the spine off the mat. Lifting up into our shoulder bridge. Not feeling any weight in the neck. And lots of activation in the buttocks and the hamstrings. And then as we exhale, come back down, equally as smoothly. Again, tighten the belly and let's peel off the mat. And then slowly press back down. And again, let's tighten the belly and peel off the mat. And then just maintain that hold while we breathe. And then we can slowly melt back down. And then once we've made it all the way back down, let's tuck the knees in one more time, giving ourselves that good close hug. Adding in a few more rocks. And then some easy knee circles round and round. And reverse. And then just keep the knees nice and close. Feel that belly button pulling downward. And as we exhale, we're going to roll all the way up. And then once we're upright, let's come into our easy cross-leg position. Feeling those sit bones on the mat. Dropping the shoulders open, lifting the heart center, and allowing your palms to open to the sky. And then let your chin fall to your chest, and we'll breathe into the back of our neck. Let's inhale, lift the head, tip back to open our throat. Exhale again, chin to chest. Inhale, lift, tip back, open our throat. And again, draw that chin to your chest. And then lift the head and tip back to open our throat. And then just come to that neutral place. We're going to turn our eyes to look over that right shoulder. And come back to neutral, and let's turn to look left. And then return to that neutral center. Let's place our hands together at heart center. Inhale, open your arms and your heart. Exhale, let's bring the hands back together. Inhale, let's open. And exhale together. Once again, inhale, open. And exhale together. And then let's inhale and reach to the sky. And exhale, let the arms float all the way down. Inhale back up. And exhale, open. Inhale, lift. And exhale, open. Once more, let's inhale, lift. And this time on the exhale, let just the left arm lower. You're going to stretch that right hand a little bit higher, gazing up. And then do a little side bend to your left. And come back up. Again, let's side bend to the left. And lift up. Once again, let's side bend. Sweep the arm forward, reach it out, lift back up. And then let that arm float all the way down. Once there, let's do some shoulder rolls from back to front. And then just begin to increase the circles until we have some nice full arm circles. And then let's extend higher and higher to the sky. And then let that left arm float down and the right arm float down. And then we'll inhale, lift back up. And this time exhale, let just the right hand float down. We're going to stretch a little higher to the sky with that left hand. Side bend to the right. And come back up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, lift. And exhale, side bend. Let's sweep forward. Reach all the way out to the side. Lift back up and side bend. And let's lift. And let that arm float down. And again, once it's down, some shoulder rolls from back to front. Increasing to those larger circles. And then those really, really big circles. And again, a nice high stretch to the sky. And then let's bring the hands together at our heart. Dropping our chin to our chest once again. I want you to tip your left ear to your left shoulder. Drop the chin and let's tip right ear, right shoulder. Again, drop the chin and tip off to your left. Dropping the chin and tip right. And then just let that chin fall to your chest. And we'll return to that seated mountain pose. Spread your fingers out as wide as you can, like you're pressing through your palms. And then scrunch your fingers in nice and tight. Let's spread them wide and scrunch tight. Once again, spread open and scrunch them tight. And then just let those hands relax. We're going to take one more inhale as we are. Exhale as we soften a bit, and let's transition to hands and knees. So whatever way works for you to get onto those hands and knees. Once we've made it to all fours, we want shoulders over hands, hips over knees, tops of the feet on the floor, pressing down to the tops of the feet. And then foundational hands, wide spread fingers, hands turned in slightly, and feel yourself pressing down through the second, third, and fourth knuckles on each hand. From there, let's begin to sink our navel, lift our tailbone, lift our head, open our heart for cow. And then exhale and round up for cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And then let's return to our neutral spine. We'll extend the right leg behind us and push out through the right heel. Then add that left arm forward, rotating palm to the sky. Exhale, let's release and switch. Left leg extends, right arm comes forward, palm opening to the sky. Exhale, release, and we'll switch again. And then while we're here, try opening that left arm wide to the side. Returning it to the front. And return to all fours. Switching sides, left leg, right arm extend, opening right palm to the sky. And then letting that arm open wide to the side. And bring it back to the front. Returning to all fours. Let's separate the knees a bit. Keep your big toes touching and push back with your tailbone. Allow your ribs to drop through your knees and your forehead to rest on the mat. Fingers reaching towards that front end of your mat with your palms opening to the sky. Feeling that deep stretch traveling down the sides of the body. Come back into those foundational hands. Tucking the toes, we're going to lift our tailbone towards the sky. Allow your head to dangle through those extended arms. Feel your rib cage pulling closer and closer to your thighs. Feel the back of your shoulder blades reaching towards your gluteals. Let's nod our head yes a few times. And then let it shake no. And then just hang out. Let's walk our dog a few times. Lift and lower each heel individually. And then press both heels down. Next, we're going to inhale ourselves into a good sturdy plank. Belly button is tight, straight line from the heels all the way out to the top of our head. Exhale back up into down dog. And inhale into plank. Try again, exhale down dog. And inhale to plank. From there, let's modify to the knees. And as we lower down, elbows open, chest down, hips down, elbows tuck in. Press to the tops of your feet and your hip bones, lengthen your spine, and begin to rise into cobra. Exhale, elbows opening, coming down. Draw them in close as we inhale, lengthen and rise into cobra. Again, exhale, coming down. And then inhale, lengthen, rise into cobra. Let's tuck our toes and make our way back up into down dog. Walking our dog a few more times. Pressing both heels down. And then inhale into plank. Modify if you'd like. Exhale, lowering down, elbows open. Chest down, hips down, elbows tuck in. Inhale, rise, cobra. Exhale, tuck toes, and we're back up into down dog. Inhale again into that plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lengthen, rise, cobra. And exhale, down dog. Let's try that once more. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. And then inhale, lengthen, rise into cobra. Exhale, tuck toes, and we're right back up into down dog. From there, let's ease back down onto all fours. Sink the navel, lift the tailbone, lift the head, open the heart, cow. And then exhale as you round out for cat. Return to neutral spine. And let's step our right foot forward between those hands. Once there, we want to keep the right knee over the ankle, press to the top of your left foot. Reach high to the sky, crescent moon. Exhale, let's fold forward, hands to the mat. Go ahead and tuck your left toes under, lift the left knee, and that brings us into runner's lunge. Good, now let's step right foot back, hold on to your plank. Press back up into down dog. And come back down onto all fours. Sink the navel, lift the tailbone, lift the head, open the heart, cow. And then exhale, scoop and round for cat. Let's come back to neutral. And then take a giant step forward with left foot this time, placing it between the hands. Knee over ankle, pressing through the top of the right foot. Reach to the sky, crescent moon. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Tucking the right toes under, lift up that right knee, and that brings us back into runner's lunge. Good job. Now let's step right foot forward. Toes close, heels apart. We're going to roll up. Once we're up, let's reach high to the sky. And then exhale to your heart. Again, inhale to the sky. And exhale to the heart. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out. Exhale, sink deeper. Inhale, roll up. Reach high, touch the sky. Exhale to the heart. Again, inhale, touch the sky. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out. Exhale, sink deeper. Right foot back, left foot back plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, rise, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, return to plank. And exhale, down dog. Right foot forward, left foot forward, toes close, heels apart. Inhale, roll up. Reach high to the sky. Exhale to the heart. Again, inhale, extend, and exhale, fold. Inhale, look out. Exhale, sink deeper. Left foot back, right foot back, plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale again to plank. And exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, right foot forward, toes close, heels apart. Inhale, roll up. Reach to the sky. Exhale to the heart. Inhale again to the sky. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out. Exhale, sink deeper. Right foot back, left foot back, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, rise. And exhale again, downward facing dog. Inhale, return to plank. And exhale, down dog. Right foot forward, left foot forward, toes close, heels apart. Inhale, roll up. Reach and touch the sky. Exhale to the heart. Inhale again to the sky and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out. Exhale, sink deeper. Left foot back, right foot back, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, rise, cobra. Exhale, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, return to plank. And exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, right foot forward, toes close, heels apart. Inhale, roll up. Reach high, touch the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Now let your arms extend long at your sides, palms facing forward, heart center open, mountain pose. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out. And exhale, sink deeper. Feel your ribs resting on your thighs. Cradle your elbows in the palms of your hands to form a frame. And then let your head dangle within that frame. Releasing fingers to the mat. Giant step back with our right foot, bringing us into runner's lunge. Once that's established, let's push right heel down, turn the right toes out slightly, align your left heel with the back of your right heel, and lift upper body. Hip bones facing forward, we've got shoulders squared out over those hips. Add your arms when ready, warrior one. Let the arms and the heart open. Inhale, neutral spine. And then stay long in the waist as you exhale, hinge forward, bringing you into your warrior airplane. And then while we're here, see if you can lift that right heel coming into that airplane lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Left foot steps back, returning to plank. Exhale, lift lower. Inhale, lengthen, rise, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, return to plank. And exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, right foot forward, toes close, heels apart. Inhale, rolling up. Reach high, touch the sky. And exhale to the heart. Again, inhale, extend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, look out. Exhale, melting even deeper, ribs even closer to your thighs, elbows cradling, palms of hands, framing our head. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Left foot steps back. First we establish our lunge, then we can push that left heel down, turn our left toes out slightly. Keep the right knee over the ankle as you're lifting upper body. Hip bones facing forward, we've got shoulders squared out over those hips. And then the arms rise for warrior one. Let's open our arms and open our heart. And let's inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, begin to hinge forward, bringing our ribs close to that front thigh for warrior airplane. And then transition into your airplane lunge by lifting that left heel. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot steps back into plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lengthen, rise, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, return to plank. And exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, right foot forward, toes close, heels apart. Inhale, let's hold up. Reach high to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. And let's return to standing mountain pose. Let's inhale again, arms extend. But this time on the exhale, I want you to start to bend your knees like you're about to sit back in a tiny chair. And while you're doing that, pull your knees closer together and keep lifting your ribs away from your thighs. And there's our chair pose. As we exhale, let's fold forward, straightening the legs. Inhale, look out. And exhale, sink a little deeper. Let's step the right foot back into lunge. And once you've established your lunge, we're going to lift upper body, and that's going to bring us into high lunge. And then see about adding our arms for crescent lunge. And then let the arms go wide and start to straighten the left leg as you're pushing the right heel down. We're going to rotate our body, so now we're going to face the wide side of our mat with our toes in and our heels out, palms opening to the sky, 5-pointed star. Let's inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, brushing the earth, and then inhale back up for that sunflower. Exhale, bending, folding, brushing the earth, and inhale, growing to our sunflower. Exhale, fold, and inhale, rise. This time, exhale, fold, and we're going to stay down there. Once there, push down into your palms, straighten the legs as much as you can. Toes are still in, heels are still out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let's sink deeper. See if you can get your forearms to drop closer to the mat, completely dangling the head. And then let's press the palms once again, pushing those arms straighter and straighter. Let's begin to bend our right knee, shifting our weight to the right. Want to feel that stretch going right up the inside of our left thigh. And then let's come back to neutral center. And use your right hand to reach across towards your left big toe. From there, we're going to inhale that left arm out and then rotate at the waist, and that becomes our twisting straddle. And then let's exhale and bring that left hand down. Bring the right hand back into place. Once there, we're going to raise our heels so we're way high onto that big toe knuckle. And then let's press the heels all the way down and rock back onto the heels so we can lift up our toes and spread them open nice and wide. And then we're going to press our feet down so each and every toe is nice and spaced apart. And then let's inhale, flat back, look out. Exhale, arms opening for airplanes. And then as we inhale, we can slowly rise, returning to 5-pointed step. Feel all that open space across the heart. Let's rotate our palms to face forward, and then we're going to let just our fingertips meet. And then press the palms and lace the fingers. And then we're going to press index fingers together. And feel that stretch deepening across the upper back and the back of our shoulders. Let's bend the elbows so the elbows and the forearms meet together. We're going to keep those elbows shoulder level. And then as we inhale, start to extend the arms towards the sky. Allow them to strain your head while keeping them slightly forward of your ears. Not feeling any tension in the neck. And then from there, let's reopen. And we're back in our stand. Now we're ready to turn our left toes to the front end of our mat. Align your left heel with the arch of your right foot and begin to bend that knee. Let it find that place out over the ankle without going past our toes. And then we'll pull straight. And we'll try again. Beautiful. And then pull straight. And we're going to do that once more. You're going to find that perfect spot where your body weight is balanced equally into both feet. We're feeling that power of our warrior two. Good, now start to stretch that left arm a little farther forward. Lift the left as you lower your right. Turn your left palm to the sky and push up through the heel of your hand. Feeling that deep stretch going up that left side of our ribs. And then as we exhale, let's bring our left forearm to our left thigh and stretch your right hand high to the sky. Let the right arm start to lower towards your hip. It's going to make a full circle. As it comes back up, we return to warrior two. Beautiful. Now pull that leg straighter and straighter without locking. And we're right back where we started. That allows us to begin to build our triangle pose. So imagine that you're pressing between two panes of glass. Our right hip begins to pull right, and our left arm is going to reach as far away from that right hip as we can. Once we can't go any farther in either direction, you can send that left hand down and extend that right arm directly to the sky. We want to feel as if we're pressing our right hip a little bit forward, rolling our right shoulder a little bit back. And just breathe into all that open space. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the neck relaxed. You want to feel like we're being drawn towards the sky. And then we'll take one more inhale. On the exhale, let's begin to bend the left knee. And we can either rest our left forearm on our left thigh, or we could reach that left hand all the way to the mat. Extended angle pose. And then from there, let's bend the right elbow and bring the back of our right hand into our lower back. Keep rolling the right shoulder towards the sky. That would be preparation for bound angle. We can stay in this pose, or we could grab hold of our left wrist with our right hand, or we could send that left hand between the legs and let our hands hook together. Remember though, we want to keep right shoulder to the sky, and that's where we're gazing, up past our right shoulder. Take one more inhale. On our exhale, return to that extended angle pose, stretching ever wider. And then as we exhale, begin to revolve upper body, and let's return to runner's lunge. Once there, we'll step left foot back, and there's our plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, rise, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes or back up into down dog. And then inhale, return to plank. Now you can hang out in your plank, or you could add a push-up. And then we're going to lift that right foot not too high and press back into three-legged dog. And then let's step the right foot through the hands, bringing us back into our lunge. Once there, let's push the left heel down and start to straighten the right leg. And then we're gonna lift up our right toes. Inhale, lengthen, look out. And then exhale, see if you can sink yourself a little deeper down into that right thigh. And then eventually let your toes return to the mat. Feeling that deep, deep stretch in the hamstrings. On the next exhale, go ahead and start to bend the right knee, returning to our lunge, but not for long because we're going to push our right leg straight and extend our left leg behind us, hip level. Hands can form a tripod with our right foot, and that could be our tripod balance. Or we could align our right thumb with our right pinky toe and begin to roll that left hip open. Adding left arm to the sky becomes half moon balance. Let's exhale that hand down if it's lifted. We'll take a step in again with our left foot, so toes are close, heels are apart, and then ever so slowly roll yourself up. Reach high to the sky, and exhale, hands to heart. Let's inhale again to the sky, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out, and exhale, sink deeper, and let's inhale and roll back up. Reaching high to the sky, and exhale to the heart. This time we're going to inhale, extend to the sky, and then as we exhale, we're going to bend our knees and sink our hips like we're sitting in that tiny chair, pulling your knees closer together and keeping those ribs lifting for chair pose. And let's exhale and fold all the way down. Take a step back with our left foot this time, bringing us into our lunge. Once we have a nice sturdy lunge, we want to lift up our body. That brings us into our high lunge. And then from there we can add our arms to form crescent lunge. And then let's open the arms wide and begin to straighten the right leg as we're pushing our left heel down to the mat. We get to revolve upper body, and now we should be facing the other wide side of our mat. 5-pointed star, palms opening to the sky. We'll inhale to the sky, exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, brush the earth, and then inhale, rise for sunflower. Exhale again, folding forward, and inhaling to our sunflower. Exhale, let's fold, and inhale to our sunflower. This time we're going to exhale and fold and just stay there. Press down into your palms, pushing arms and legs straight. Inhale, look out. And exhale, see if you can sink just a little bit deeper. Letting our upper body be limp like a rag doll. And then let's press down into our palms, pushing those arms straight. Bend the left knee, so we're shifting our weight to the left, keeping that right foot down and really feeling that stretch taking place in that inner right thigh. And then come back to neutral center. And let's reach our left hand across towards our right big toe. Inhale that right arm to the side, and then exhale, revolve at your waist. And there's our twisting straddle. Good. Exhale, bring that hand down. Return those hands to that center position. And then let's bring our heels off the mat. Again, lifting them as high as we can. And pressing the heels down, rocking back onto the heels so we can lift up those toes, spread them open. And then we're going to push them down nice and flat. Once there, inhale, flat back, look out. Exhale, arms go wide for our airplane straddle. And then as we inhale, we're lifting slowly. And that returns us to our 5-pointed star. Palms opening to the sky. Breathe. Let the left arm lower down. It's going to make a nice full circle up and back into place. Right arm is going to lower down, make that full circle. And then do both arms together. Circle around and open. Again, let's circle around and open. Once more, circle around and open. Rotating our palms forward. Bringing the hands closer together. Again, just our fingertips meet. And then we're going to press our palms together. Lacing all of our fingers. And then pressing those index fingers together. Deepening the stretch we feel across upper back. Now we bend the elbows and bring the forearms and the elbows as close together as we can. Keeping those elbows shoulder level. Inhale, let's extend towards the sky. Allowing our arms to frame our head, keeping them a little bit in front of our ears. Feeling our shoulders actively pulling away from our ears. And then we're ready to reopen into our star. Beautiful. Now let's turn right toes to the front end of our mat. Align our right heel with our left arch. And then when ready, bend the right knee. And then we're going to pull straight. And we're going to go for it again. So each time we want to find ourselves a little bit deeper. And pull straight. And one more time. This time we're going to hang out here, and I want you to feel your body weight centered equally into your feet, keeping the torso tall, feeling all that power and openness of Warrior Two. Beautiful. Now start to pull that right arm forward. We're going to lift the right and lower the left, and rotate your right palm to the sky, pushing through the heel of your hand for Reverse Warrior. And then as we exhale, let's bring right forearm to right thigh, stretching our left arm higher and higher. And then let's lower that left arm, so it's going to make that full circle around, pulling us back into Warrior Two. Nice. Now pull the right leg straight, and we're really where we started. So we're rolling our left shoulder a little bit back. And we feel like we're being pulled towards the sky. Breathe out any tension that you're holding in your shoulders or your neck. Got one more inhale. On the exhale, let's start to bend the right knee. And we can either rest our right forearm on our thigh or reach that right hand all the way down for our extended angle pose. And then let's bend the left elbow so the back of our left hand comes into that lower back. Rolling that left shoulder open, we could stay in this position, or you could pass your right hand behind, grab hold of that right wrist. Or we could send the right hand between the legs, letting our hands hook together. While we're all rolling that left shoulder open and looking up past that left shoulder. Take one more inhale. Exhale, let's return to our extended angle pose. And then on the next exhale, we're going to revolve the upper body and return to runner's lunge. And then let's step our right foot back, holding on to our plank. Exhale as we lower. Inhale, lengthen and rise into Cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, come back up into Down Dog. And then inhale again into plank where you can hang out or insert a push-up. And then we're going to lift our left foot not too high and simply press back into three-legged dog. And then let's step the left foot through the hands, returning us to our lunge. Once that's established, we're going to push that right heel down, toes turn out slightly, and we're straightening our left leg straighter and straighter and straighter. And then let's lift up those left toes. Inhale, look out. Exhale, melt down into that left thigh. And then see if you can let your toes press back down into the mat. Take one more inhale. On our exhale, let's rebend that left knee so we're returning to runner's lunge, but not for long, because now we're going to push the left leg straight and extend that right leg behind us hip level. Allow your hands to form a tripod, and that becomes tripod balance. We can remain like that, or we could align our left thumb with our left pinky toe. Start to roll your right hip open, and then add that right arm to the sky for half moon balance. And then let's exhale the right hand down if it's lifted. And we'll step the right foot in, toes close, heels apart. Inhale, rolling up, reaching high to the sky. And exhale to our heart. Let's return to standing mountain pose. So now I want you to find a focal point for your eyes and fixate on that spot. Feel your belly button drawing inward, and that's going to give you the stability and the power from your core. Begin to shift your weight into your right foot. And then let's place our left heel at the right ankle bone and let your hands come to your heart. When you're ready, you can lift up your toes and build your tree. And then if you wish, you can grow the branches of your tree. And then as we exhale, let the arms float down. We'll set our foot back down. Inhale, touch the sky. Exhale, open just the arms so they come together behind your back. Once there, we're going to pull down and open our heart, open our throat. And then return to that neutral spine. Release the hands and come back into standing mountain pose. And now we're ready to try it on the other side. So focal point, belly button drawing inward, shifting our weight into our left foot this time, placing our right heel at that left ankle bone, and then hands to heart. And when you're ready, lifting those toes. Growing the branches of our tree. Exhale, we're opening, sending the foot back down. Inhale, touch the sky. Exhale, open just the arms. Again, we're going to hook them together behind our back. Start to pull downward as you're opening your heart, opening your throat. And then inhale, neutral spine. And exhale, let's begin to fold forward. Feel like you're pulling your ribs closer and closer to your thighs. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and then let your head drop. And try lifting those arms a little bit higher. And And then as we exhale, hands return to the mat. And let's step back with our right foot, left foot into plank. Once there, let's keep our right shoulder over that right wrist and open for side plank. Modify to the side of your knee if you'd like. Exhale, come back around into our plank. Press back up into down dog. And then again, inhale to plank. Left shoulder over left wrist this time. Opening for side plank. Modify to the side of your knee. Exhale back around into our plank. Pressing back up into downward facing dog. Walking our dog a few times. Pressing the heels down, down, down. And then inhale into our plank. And exhale, lowering down. Let's inhale, lengthen, rise for our cobra. And this time on the exhale, we're going to push all the way back into extended chest pose. Turning those palms open to the sky, deepening the stretch going down the sides of the body. Let's pass the left arm through the right armpit. Let your left shoulder sink down. And then bring that arm out and we'll switch. Sinking that shoulder down and letting the weight of your body deepen that stretch. And then let's bring that arm back out. And again, just stretch a little bit further. Come back to foundational hands. Start scooping the belly in, rounding the spine for our cat. Sinking that navel, lifting and opening for cow. And then we're back to neutral spine. Next, we're going to inch the right knee forward so it comes right up behind the right wrist. And then use your left hand to guide that right heel across your body. You want to kind of aim it at your left hip bone. You can start inching the left leg farther back. And we want to keep our weight centered over that left hip so we're not feeling pressure in the knee. And then when you feel ready, you can ease farther down. And remember, if you don't like this position for pigeon pose, you could do upside down pigeon, which would just be on your back. So I want you to press down through the top of those, left toes, and then you're going to dig the outer edge of your right pinky toe into the mat. So it's going to keep this nice and active. And then as we inhale, let's begin to lift up our body. And then once we're upright, we're simply going to shift our weight onto that right hip and bring the left foot across. So we're going to step the left foot across to that right leg. Want to keep those sit bones on the mat. And then take that, right hand a little bit farther behind you and bring your left upper arm inside that left thigh. And then inhale taller and straighter. And exhale, rotate your waist, start looking farther over your shoulders. And then let's inhale, stretch left arm high. Exhale, let it float down. Once there, let's stretch the left leg out straight. We're going to keep the right knee bent, but now just place the bottom of your foot nice and close to that inner thigh, and place hands on either side of the straight leg. And then start to inch forward. Feel like you're pushing back through your tailbone and melting your upper body down. And then just move your body a little bit so you're centered now between that bent knee and the straight leg. And again, sink a little deeper. And then from there, let's inhale all the way back up. Extend that left hand towards your left ankle, reach the right arm high, and simply side stretch. And then we'll inhale, lift. Let's bring that hand all the way down. Keep your hand close to your tailbone. And then inhale, lift the left arm. And while we're doing that, we're going to start to lift up that left hip, pushing the left foot down, stretching out, turning that left palm towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we can sink back down. And then once you've made it back down, we need to bring ourselves back around onto all fours, so whatever way works for you to get there. And we're going to repeat the same thing on this side. So first we start by inching our left knee forward up behind the left wrist, using our right hand to guide that left heel across the body, so we're aiming it at the right hip bone. And you can start inching that right leg farther back, keeping the left knee pointing to the side of your mat, and then ease down. Pressing down through the top of your right foot and the outer edge of your left pinky toe. And then as we inhale, let's start to lift up our body. And then simply shift your weight onto your left hip. And then once we're there, we'll bring the right foot across. And want to just step it across that bent leg. Once there, we'll take the hand behind us and bring it closer to the tailbone. And then use that right upper arm to press against right inner thigh. Inhale a little taller and straighter. Exhale, rotate at your waist so we can look over that shoulder. And then let's inhale, right arm high. And exhale, float down. Let's stretch the right leg out straight. Keep that left knee bent, so we're actually pressing our bottom of our foot against that inner thigh. And then hands on either side of that straight leg, we're going to inch forward. Pushing back through the tailbone, melting the upper body. And then move yourself a little bit to the left, so now you're centered between the straight leg and the bent knee. And then from there, let's inhale and slowly rise. Once we're upright, we can put right hand towards right ankle, send left arm high, and let's side bend. And then let's inhale that arm up and bring it behind us on the mat, pushing down through the heel of our hand, nice and close to the tailbone. And then we'll inhale, lift the right arm, and start to pull the right hip up, pressing down to the top of your right foot, and turning your right palm towards the sky. And then let's exhale and slowly sink back down. And then once you've made it back down, we're going to stretch out both legs straight. Hands on either side of our hips. You can just bounce your knees up and down a few times. And just let them relax into the mat. And then let's start walking the hands forward, pushing back to the tailbone, and laying that rib cage down against your thighs. And then we'll slowly peel up. And then once we're up, let's bend both of our knees. Place our hands behind our thighs. Let your shoulders drop from your ears. Keep lifting and opening that heart. And then find your balance on your tailbone. We want to make sure we maintain a nice long spine. Little by little, we can start to lift those feet. No worries about getting your legs all the way straight. Just go where you can. And once you found the spot that works for you, see about adding your arms. And then we're going to slowly open down like we're being ironed into the mat. Once we're down there, push out through your heels and reach out through your fingertips. And then feel your body go soft. Let's float the arms up towards the sky and return them to your sides. And then we're going to bend our knees, keeping our feet on the mat. Toes in, heels out, feet about hips distance apart. Let's go back up into our shoulder bridge. And then once there, bring the right knee to your chest and extend the leg towards the sky. And then slowly start to lower your spine back to the mat. Once there, we're going to cross the right leg over the left like you're sitting with your legs crossed. Let's open the arms wide to the side. And then start to drop your knees off to the left as you look to the right. And then come back to neutral. Go ahead and uncross. Coming back to both feet down, knees bent, heels in, or toes in, heels out, arms at your sides. Tightening the belly as we peel ourselves back up into that shoulder bridge. And then left knee pulls in and extends to the sky. Slowly begin to lower the spine back to the mat. Once it's all the way down, go ahead and cross that left leg all the way over the right. Opening the arms wide, dropping our knees to the right. We look to the left. And then from there, let's bring the knees back to neutral. And uncross. Now we're going to bring our knees to our chest and give ourselves a really tight hug. Feel that good stretch going down the length of your spine into those gluteals, rocking side to side to massage either side of our spine. Back to neutral, we're going to circle our knees around and around, really pressing through lower back. And then let's reverse. And then let's hug the knees in as tightly as we can. Begin to open the knees, keep your big toes closed, and just aim your knees out over your shoulders. And then take the knees wider so the soles of your feet come as close as they can together, and pull those heels towards your body. Breathing into inner thighs and outer hips. And then from there, let's separate the feet. Keep the knees bent. Push flat feet towards the sky and pull down with your hands. Keep your shoulders and your spine relaxed on the mat. We can even add a few little rocks from side to side. And then just hang out in center. Begin to stretch your legs straighter and wider. And then from there, let's begin to pull the legs closer together, pushing our heels towards the sky. Feel as though you're pulling your toes towards the top of your head. And then we can relax a little bit and let just the right leg lower all the way down. Once it's made its way all the way to the mat, let's pull it back up. And once it makes it back up, we'll switch, lowering that left leg all the way down to the mat. And then once it's made it down there, we're going to pull it back up. And then once again, think about pulling your toes over your head. And then we can bend the knees and give ourselves another nice tight hug. Tighten the belly, press to the back of your rib cage, and let's bring shoulders, neck, and head off the mat. Now stretch your right leg all the way to the mat. And then stretch your left leg out as well. And then we're going to slowly lower the upper body back to our mat. Once you've made it all the way back to the mat, let your arms rest at your sides, palms to the sky. And feel free to adjust yourself on your mat until you feel that you're not feeling anything poking into your body. You just want to feel completely released. Now we're going to let our breath travel around the body, looking for those places that remain tense or tight. I want you to think about tensing just your arms. So we're tensing just the arms, the rest of the body is soft. And then let the arms go soft. And now we're going to tense just the legs. And then we're going to let the legs go soft. Then I want you to squeeze your fists really tight. And then let your hands open and release. And then scrunch your toes really tight. And then let your toes relax. Now if you can find even more space to bring your breath into. Life is as dear to a mute creature as it is to man. Just as one wants happiness and fears pain, just as one wants to live and not die, so do other creatures. Compassion, in which all ethics must take root, can only attain its full breadth and depth if it embraces all living creatures and does not limit itself to mankind. Let us set aside all of our anxious thoughts. Make a conscious choice to live today with courage, with an open heart, a grateful heart, and a hopeful heart, spreading random acts of kindness to all beings. Remember that my soul honors your soul. I honor that place in you where the entire universe resides, honoring the light, the love, the truth, the beauty, and the peace within you, because it is also within me. In sharing these things, we are united, we are the same, we are one. Namaste.